American Friends Podcast with your host, Eric F. King, featuring world-class speakers, coaches, and consultants. Join us every Monday as we dive into empowering conversations that motivate, inspire, and educate entrepreneurs. Kickstart your week with valuable insights that help you not just survive, but thrive. This is your go-to podcast to start your week strong and live your best life. Let's make Mondays the fuel for your success journey.
All right. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, everybody. Welcome to Motivational Monday. We are super excited to be here with you once again this morning. We meet here every single Monday at 7 a.m. Eastern Time. And today I am so blessed to have some incredible speakers alongside with me. Zion Anagru is here. Leah Garcia is here. We are excited to kick this off this morning. And today we're going to be talking about a topic that a lot of people have asked us to talk about. And that is this: stop sitting on your idea. Okay. It's time for you to monetize your business, to monetize your message, to create something out of your idea so you can generate wealth for you and your family. And we're going to dive into that today. We have a lot of great points I want to share with you. Make sure that you all, yes, okay. So make sure that you all introduce yourself in the chat. Just say hi. My name is from, actually, I probably will see your name. Just say, I'm zooming in from wherever you are, okay, wherever you are in the world. I know we have people from all over the world already jumping in. I see Natasha, I see Samuel, people jumping in from all over the world. All right, so let's get started. I believe we have, hold on one second. Just want to make sure he's in here. I know Annie joined us and I can't find him. So give me 1 second. Make sure he's in here. Okay, 1 second. 1 second. Okay. All right. Well, he will join us in a second. All right. So let's get started. Our first speaker hails out of California, where it is 4:04 in the morning. She is known as the Dynasty Builder. Okay, so she helps people with building wealth for their families, right? She has a great ebook that I recommend that everybody download, whether you want to make money, invest money, save money, whatever it is. She is the expert. And today we have the great pleasure of having her on our panel. Also, she is a third-degree black belt in karate, which means that she is a very disciplined person. She knows how to set goals and meet those goals, okay, and works very hard to do that. And she has a lot of clients that she helps with that as well. All right, so without further ado, let's bring up Leah Garcia. The floor is yours.
Thank you so much, Erica, King of Collaboration. Well, happy Money Monday, champions. Listen, this is a great topic. Stop sitting on your idea and start making money for it. Put a 1 in the chat if you want to start making more money. Listen, this is Motivation Monday, but we're here to drop you some great golden nuggets. And I am so excited to be able to share this information with you. And so many people talk about the law of attraction, the vision boards, the affirmations, the positive thinking, and that's all great. I think it's wonderful. But you know what? I can tell you something that's missing. It's called the law of action. That's the way I think about it, because the law of attraction might put a dream in your heart, but the law of action puts the money in your bank account. Here's one of my things that I say is that done beats perfect every single day and twice on Sunday. You got to start having more doing. We've got enough thinking, but now it's time to start with the action. If you're waiting until everything's perfect, congratulations, you've officially become a professional waiter, okay? And that's just going to give you regret. So I'm going to give you 3 golden nuggets on why so many people, so many potential entrepreneurs never take the action. And the last one, I'm going to tell you, I should be charging you admission. It's not my 2 cents. It's going to be my $2 million cents. So here's number 1. Stop building a brand before you've built a business. Oh my goodness. This one drives me nuts. Oh my gosh. I see it all the time. They've got matching polo shirts. They've got custom coffee mugs. They've branded the balloons. They've got a logo, business cards, a website. They even buy an LLC. But you know what? And they've got the social media manager, but they have not sold a thing. Absolutely nothing. Listen, stop it. You don't need a fancy logo. You don't need a website. You don't need to spend 6 months perfecting the font. What you need is a customer. Go and sell your thing. Go and find somebody who likes what you do and who will pay you for it, because customers will teach you more in a week than Canva will teach you in months. Don't build a brand in the boardroom. Build the brand on the battlefield. You got to battle test your ideas. Your customers will tell you what to improve. They're going to give you the feedback. They're going to tell you what to tinker with, what to change, and what you can upgrade. You know, the story about Apple. Their first iPhone didn't have all the fancy things that we see it now. You know, they started imperfect. And now we're what, on iPhone 17 or something like that, okay? Number 2, stop tinkering and start doing. I meet entrepreneurs all the time who tell me, I'm almost finished, I'm almost done. Listen, I've almost got it. It's almost ready. I've got to think about it a little bit more. I got to revise it again. I've got to meditate about this. No, stop it. Go and sell something. Go find a customer. Go find a paying client. Here's the truth. The marketplace doesn't pay you for preparation. It pays you for execution. Some entrepreneurs are polishing pennies while they should be collecting dollars. You got to go collect a check. Your first version isn't supposed to be your final version. It's supposed to get you a first customer. You got to go out there and start to speak your mind. I always say the more you speak your mind, the more you're going to grow your mind. And number 3, and this one is huge, put a star, underline it. It's not a mindset. Stop saying mindset. We need a mind shift. We're entrepreneurs. We think differently. You have been probably an employee for several years or many years. I don't know how long you've been an employee, but if you're going to be an entrepreneur, if you're going to build a business, it is about a shift. You got to have a shift in your thinking, because something that's set is stationary. It's static. It doesn't move. Think about a dam. If it gets dammed up, it's static. It gets all icky. No, we got to have the shift. We got to be vibrant. We got to be energetic. Most people have spent 20 years, 30 years, 40 years, maybe being an employee. And there's nothing wrong with that. But entrepreneurs require a completely different operating system. So you got to stop asking, listen, what am I getting paid? And start asking, what problem am I serving? What problem am I solving? Who am I serving? Start asking different questions. You're going to get different answers. How can you create freedom? Stop asking, can I afford it? And start asking, how do I make it happen? Employees work for money. Entrepreneurs put money to work. You're maybe not going to become an overnight success, but you know what? You got to become an evangelist for what you're doing. This dream is in your heart that nobody else can see. That vision is there, and you've got to talk about it everywhere, any place, anyone that will allow you and listen to your story, and just start telling your story. Listen, I've worked with a lot of different entrepreneurs, and the biggest difference is in intelligence. It's not in education. It isn't even money. I've had entrepreneurs start from nothing with no money. It's the difference is the people who stop waiting for permission, who actually just do it. They make a decision, they act, they learn, they adjust and keep moving. Thomas Edison said the value of an idea lies in using it. They're not thinking about it. They're not planning about it. They're using it. So here's my challenge to you. If you've been sitting on an idea, stop researching, stop waiting, stop tweaking. Before this week is over, get a customer. Get someone who pays you. Heck, get a free customer. Just get somebody who says, yes, I see your idea. I think it's incredible. I want to participate. Let me know what I could do, because action is what we need. We don't need the law of attraction. We need more action, because your action builds your dynasty. And with that, I hand it back to you, Mr. Eric.
All right. Thank you so much. What a great way to kick it off today. This is amazing. I have so many notes right here. This is incredible. Wow. Thank you so much for that, Queen Leah. And we're going to keep moving. We're going to keep moving to our next speaker. all the way in Nigeria, West Africa. This is a guy that is helping, change lives all over the world right now. And I know a lot of people that have hired him for what he does. I'm one of those people, and I won't steal his thunder. I want him to share exactly what he does with everybody. He's a great friend of ours. He's known for his positivity. Mr. Positive Energy, Zion Anagru, the floor is yours.
All right. Thank you so much, Mr. Eric F. King. It's always a privilege to be on stage with amazing persons like yourself, Queen Leah, and our godfather, Mr. Kenny. And for me, every Monday is something I look forward to because I believe that what we do here is inspiring millions of people out there in the world to kickstart their week strong and live their best life. And Queen Leah, thank you so much for the nugget you shared to kick us off on a high note this morning, because I believe that this topic, this conversation, is something that we need to pay attention to this week, even as we move on to the remaining parts of the year. Why? Because it's all about taking action, like Queen Leah said. So my question for you is, what that idea you have been sitting on for a while? So beyond just a topic for our conversation, it's also a question for you as well. What's that idea you have been thinking about? That thought in your mind, that solution you have in your heart, but then you are still thinking, oh, I think it's not time yet, it's not perfect yet, it's not ready yet. According to some people, I'm still cooking the idea. What's that idea you are still cooking behind the scene that is not ready to be said? At the end of the day, the food that satisfies people is not a food that is still being cooked, it's the food that is served that serves people. People can, no matter how sweet your food is, how well prepared it is, it can never satisfy people when the food is not served. So you must learn to serve your idea. And that's why for me, this topic, it matters to me because it actually expresses my journey thus far in being who I am. So for those who don't know me, my name is Zion Inogeru, joining you all the way from Nigeria, and it's a privilege to be here. I'm Mr. Positive Energy, a man on a mission to spread positivity to every corner of the earth, 1 million people at a time, using the power of media. We live in a time and in a season where there's so much going on, and it's easy to be caught in that web of negativity. But having a coach and a mentor, that accountability partner to always remind you, to put you in that place where you embrace every challenge, every situation with a positive mindset. That's where I come in. You need someone to coach you and mentor you on embracing positivity. Feel free to reach out to me. Let's go on a journey of positivity together. Like I said earlier, when it comes to stop sitting on the idea, it's a matter of taking action. What can you do now to make your idea comes to pass? Because at the end of the day, the world does not reward hidden potentials. The world rewards value that is being shared. I'll say that again. The world does not reward hidden potentials. It rewards value that is being shared. Your idea that you have right now, that you are still cooking, you are still nurturing, you are still building, it's a value that the world needs. But you might not know how much the world needs the value that you are cooking until you put it out there for persons to be able to see it, to hear it, to feel it, to experience it. That's where the true difference is made. Most people, they have the ground ideas, they have the ground creativity. But at the end of the day, what changes the world, what makes real impact, it's not the grand ideas that you have that is kept in your closet, in your notebook, in your tab. It's the grand idea that is being put into action, where people begin to see it, people begin to experience it. So the first step when it comes to stop sitting on your ideas and using it to make more money, it's taking action on that idea. And action, you might not have to do too much. Just showing up and talking about what you do every day can make a huge difference. I tell you, I remember when I started my journey as an entrepreneur, yes, I had the idea of spreading positivity, but it didn't make any difference for just being an idea. But when it began to make a difference was when I began to put myself out there. Indeed, your first post might not change your life. Your first reach out might not be a major difference, But one thing I've learned is consistency compounds. The ability for you to consistently put that action out there makes a huge difference. And I tell you, from making one post to making hundreds of posts, that's where people begin to, oh, this is what Zion does. This is what Annie does. This is what Leah does. This is what Eric does. And because they know what you do, they can walk up to you. They can patronize you. They want to do business with you because they know what you do. So taking action, and one way to take action is talk about what you do. Talk about your idea. You want to change the world. How do you want to change the world? Talk about it. Let people know about what you are doing. And I tell you, you are bound to meet people to collaborate with, to work with, that will change your life. Secondly, one thing when it comes to stop sitting on your idea is, what solution does your idea bring? Who are you willing to reach out to? And what change can this idea make when it's being put out there? When you begin to think about these things, that's where, the real impact comes in. And I tell you, if you can solve ideas, if you can solve if you can solve people's problem, if you can bring a solution to their problem, I tell you, they will pay you for solving their problem. So use that idea to solve problem. Remember, I said take action by putting the idea out there for visibility, for people to see you. But then it's not just enough to talk about it. What solution does the idea bring? So when you begin to solve people's problem, that's when people want to pay you. So a lot of ideas you see right here that has become a business. Every business are bringing solution. Every business is solving a problem. So your idea can solve a problem for somebody. Your idea can solve a problem for a company, for an organization, and tell you, when you begin to solve their problem, definitely people are going to pay you for that you are doing. And one thing I've learned about action and putting yourself out there is it builds opportunities. There's a popular saying that a working man will always find his luck. a moving man will always find his luck. A man who is active, a man who is moving, someone who is doing something, who has been consistent, will definitely find opportunities. Opportunity does not meet people in silence. Opportunity does not meet you when you are invisible. Nobody sees you. Opportunity can only meet you when people see you, when people trust you, when they have seen your consistency over time. And one way to do this is share your journey. Share your journey. Talk about your story. I'll tell you, being a public speaker.
Thank you so much, Mr. Zion. Appreciate you. You can wrap it up. Go ahead.
All right. Thank you so much, Mr. Eric. I will leave you with this thought. It's, believe in your ideas. And it's not just enough to believe in your idea. Believe that these ideas can bring a solution to people. And also, as you do it, make sure you are doing it from a place of a positive mindset. Never look down on the idea. Never think that the idea is not good enough. But believe it, be positive about it, because when you're positive, you're possible. And in positivity, it's always endless possibilities for you. So thank you so much, everybody, for listening. I'll yield my back to you, Mr. Eric F. King.
All right, thank you so much. Some great nuggets here. I'm clapping for you. I think I'm frozen, so you guys can't see me, but I'm clapping. I'm clapping for you. Thank you so much. Great nuggets, man. I have a half a page full of notes already. Man, I'm learning so much. I know all of you are learning. So real quick, I want to welcome everybody. Natasha, good to see you. Good to see you. Let's see, Samuel, good to see you. Welcome. Let's see, Carlene, welcome to the call. I want to welcome Carlene. Coral from across the pond is here. Harumi, good to see you. Good to see you, Harumi. Susan, good to see you. Welcome. Welcome to the call. Man, we have a lot of people, but then some people haven't said anything. So put in the chat, where you're zooming in from today. All right. And then I also see some questions. If you have any questions for us, put it in the chat. Start with the word question and then put the question there. I see you. I see your question, Natasha. Appreciate that. And we'll get to it in a second. All right, so great topic. I know a lot of people are learning a lot. So let's go to our next speaker, who hails from London, England. And he is a guy that helps you become famous online. Anybody want to be famous online, right? If you do have an idea of a business, you need people to see it and to know it, right? Annie, this gentleman has helped me a lot, especially on LinkedIn. On LinkedIn, to I think build my followers by thousands and thousands of people. So this is a guy that helps you online. He also helps you with books and all kinds of things. So I won't steal his thunder. I'll let him talk about it. Annie Osong, the floor is yours.
Yeah, hopefully you can hear me clearly. So
Yes,
if
we
you
can
can,
hear you
then
smooth.
even though I'm moving slowly. So good morning, good afternoon, everyone. So amazing share, Mr. Z and Queen Leah. So a lot for us to get on with, right? Right. This issue of starting, it dogs everyone. It's all our problem. We're all there. We've all been there, and we all have to find a way past it. Every day we all have great ideas, all of us, but we don't do most of them, which is rather crazy, right? Why don't we do the ideas that come across our head? Let's be honest with ourselves, my friends. The first thing I would say is we don't become the person who does that thing. And let me tell you, if you argue with yourself that this is not me, then you're never going to do it. We're mostly stuck because we need to align who we are with what we want to do. It sounds pretty straightforward. If you want to treat people, that's a great mission. Make people well, then you become a doctor. But to become a doctor, you have to think like a doctor, walk like a doctor, talk like a doctor, and do what doctors do, which includes going to school, going to medical school. See, that's the point. When we become aligned with what we're trying to do, then we're willing to do whatever it takes to make that the mission, the goal happen. Most people don't even think that far. They think of something, they think, oh, what a great idea. I really want to do that. But they don't align their lives accordingly. If we don't align ourselves with what we're trying to achieve, if we keep telling ourselves different stories, oh, I'm not sure, oh, I'm scared, oh, it might be too hard, nothing changes. If you want to get started, first of all, convince yourself that you are the person who is going to do X, Y, Z, whatever X, Y, Z is, and focus on being the person who achieves the mission, the ultimate goal. Some might call it your why, what I say, but ultimately, there's a reason you're doing what you're doing. Who do you exist to serve? Who do you exist to help? What pain do you want to take away from people, as Mr. Z said? What solutions are you bringing? What difference is that going to make? You have to buy into all of that. You have to truly believe it's you. You can't write a book by just saying, I want to write a book. You have to convince yourself that you are a person who writes books. You're an author. That's the word I'm looking for, right? You're an author, and then you begin to do what authors do. Now, let me tell you, my friends, nothing's going to be easy, and nothing is as you see today. And I always make this point in this room that all of us started somewhere, and where we are today is nowhere where we started from, and nowhere near where we thought we would be. I started my business in 2015. Internet was there, but there was no AI. There's hardly any AI. There's hardly any things that we know today. There were no events. There were different functionalities, different tools. Everything was different. But literally, I had to start. And what did Mike Tyson say? Everyone has a plan until you get punched in the face. It's true, right? When Quillia says, go and get that first customer, that's what you're talking about. Your plan is great, but one day it has to meet reality. When it meets reality, you'll be surprised. That's where the real juice comes into this conversation. What you want to do is one thing. What you think you're going to do is something else. What you really get to do in the end is something entirely different. But you must have all these contingencies and plans drawn up in your head before you start. Truly believe that you're a person who can do this. Make a plan, knowing that your plan is going to get blown out of the water. You're going to improve. Your services are going to improve. Your solution is going to improve every day. Otherwise, you're going to fail, right? So be prepared to learn, prepared to change, prepared to adapt, and most of all, be prepared to serve. Help people to take up your offer. That's where you're going to learn something, and then you're going to go forward or adapt and then change. That's my share today, Mr. Eric. I can't wait to hear what you're going to share with us from your genius perspective, my friend.
Awesome. Thank you so much. And that was genius right there. I am clapping for you right now. And wow, look, I have learned so much so far. And I know all of you on the line have learned a lot. Appreciate all of you being here. And let's keep on going. So I have 4 points that I want to share. 4 points that I want to share with you. And then I'm going to get your questions. I can't wait to get your questions. I see some great questions in there. All right. So the first point that I want to share is this. One thing that's very important to know is that we all have gifts. We all have gifts that we can share with the people. Some people do it and some people don't. Some people share their gifts for free. Some people monetize their gift, right? But we all have gifts. So here's the deal. Find out that one thing that you have that you can share that comes easy to you, but it's hard for others, right? Zion is Mr. Positivity. Now, if he was naturally a negative person and every day he goes around talking about how, the world is falling apart, he wouldn't be the right person to teach positivity. Right? When you tell him your problem and he tells you my problems are bigger than yours and he tries to beat your problem, he would not be good at being Mr. Positivity, right? So first of all, you have to find something, again, you're good at, you're good at, it's easy for you, but hard for others. And how do you know? People will tell you. People will actually tell you that. Like, wow, you're different. You're different in this respect. Okay. So that's number one. All right. So number two, make sure whatever you do that you are solving a problem for people. Okay. People don't pay for knowledge. Okay. They pay for solutions. Right. Now, if I want information on anything, I can just go on Google. I can just go on ChatGPT. I can go on YouTube. Right. So information is everywhere. So people don't pay for information, but they pay because they want you to solve their problems. And once you're able to solve a problem, that's when people will take out their money and pay you. Okay. So remember that you have to solve a problem. That's number two. All right. Number three is find a coach, find a mentor, find somebody that can help you. It can even be a group of people. When I wrote my first book, I always talk about how I didn't know anything about writing books, right? I didn't know. I thought you just put all your information on a sheet of paper, take it to the printer, put it together, and boom, you got a book. No. And he's smiling because he says, no, there's a lot more, right? So I joined a group. I paid the money. I joined a group. They taught me how to put the book together, how to write it, how to get someone to do the cover, how to get someone to do the code on the back, how to get someone to format it for Amazon. Like, there's so many things I didn't know, but it became easy for me because I paid a group to help me with that. Right. So remember, I'm saying paid. I didn't go around looking for free help, because that's not enough to be able to do it right. And it became a bestseller, my first book. Okay. So that's one thing you need to do. Get the coaching, get the training, pay somebody or some group to help you with that. Right. And here are just some examples of the things that you can put together. So I put a list together. Okay. Once you are able to create that offer of yours, something that you want to sell, you can sell it in form of coaching, in form of consulting. You can be a speaker and speak on stages and talk about it. You can do online summits. You can do workshops. You can write a book, right? You can have a membership group. I mean, you can have digital products. There's really so many things you can do, right? But don't think of the way you're going to make money first. Think of how you're going to solve a problem first. And then you can learn all those again through the coaching. Okay. And then finally, number 4 is take action. They all said it. Take action. You know, the number one thing that most people never do is they never take action. They come up with all these great, grandiose ideas. Oh my goodness. So many ideas. If they paid people for ideas, we'll all be rich. We'd all be millionaires if they paid for ideas, but they don't pay you for ideas, right? They pay you for action. So take one step today, take another step tomorrow. And as you take the steps, that's how you end up monetizing what you do. Okay. So those are my 4 points that I wanted to share. And we would thank you so much. Thank you so much for the clapping, the applause. And now we're going to get into the questions. There are a lot of questions. Oh, before that, real quick, I want all our speakers, our panelists today, to share real quick what they do and how they help people. And I'm gonna start because I always forget to go. So let me just start. Okay. So number 1, so as some of you know, I am the founder of the number 1 platform for speakers, coaches, and authors in the world to share their expertise and monetize their message. It's called studiospeaking.com. Studiospeaking.com. We'll put it in the chat. If you want to learn about how you can get on my stage, my live stage, just go there. We created a 4-minute video. You can check it out and learn more about what we do. Okay. And by the way, we are coming out with something special very soon, next couple of weeks. A lot of people have asked for this. People want to join a community where they can learn all these things we talk about, where you can actually get to know people on a closer basis, where you can actually promote your business and you can learn and grow. So what we do here for an hour, imagine being able to do it on a regular basis weekly, right, with a group. So if that sounds good to you, stay tuned. You're going to hear from me and Coral about the community that we are creating. All right. So thank you for putting that in the chat. All right. So let's go around the room. Start with Queen Leah. And then go around the room and share quickly within a minute or two what you do, what you have going on, and then we'll get to the questions.
Thank you so much, Eric. And I was laughing at your jokes. Okay, don't get it twisted. I'm still here for you, Eric. My name is Leah Garcia, and I'm the Dynasty Builder. And I serve high-achieving entrepreneurs and business owners, and I teach them how to protect, distribute, and transfer their wealth so they can truly build a dynasty and create generational wealth. Right? If you just create wealth for you, to me, that the money just stops with you. We need to put our wealth into our children's children. I invite you also to check out my Biz in a Box, which is like an interactive website. You can download some free tools there and download my free ebooks, The Wall of Wealth. I also host Wealthy Wednesday every single Wednesday at 10 a.m. Pacific. I'm always looking for guest speakers. So if you're an entrepreneur, if you have a story, I love to chat with you, but we want to know about Zion. How can we learn more about you, Mr. Positivity? What do you do?
Thank you so much, Leah. For me, it's all about positivity, helping entrepreneurs all over the world to embrace the power of positivity. I tell you, doing business is not always easy. Doing business can be so overwhelming, but having the right mindset to do business is a major game changer. So you want to continue to embrace the power of positivity, even as you do business, being an entrepreneur, reach out to me. Let's go on a journey of positivity together. And I also help host online events. Online event just like this. As an entrepreneur, you have value you want to give. You have that idea you want to share with the world to make more impact, to solve more solution. Reach out to me. Let's put an event together concerning that ideas of yours. And I tell you, we can reach out to more people and make more impact in the world. I host Positivity Live event every Friday, 7 p.m. West African time, 2 p.m. Eastern time. Is a space where it's all about positivity as a foundation, as we reach out to different topics to inspire more people, to impact more people, and then to help you share your story. So if that resonates with you, reach out to me. I'm always on LinkedIn, Zion Inogero. Send me a DM, and I tell you, it's going to be an upward trajectory in positivity. Well, I know Mr. Eddie has a lot going on. He has so much impact he's making with all he does to help people. So, Mr. Eddie, I cannot wait to hear from you to tell us about who you are and what you do.
Thank you, Mr. Z. Thank you. Of course, we will have a lot going on, but I like to keep it simple, in line with what I shared earlier. Focus on the mission and focus on how you're going to get there. My mission is to get people seen, heard, and get them selling more, serving more people, in other words, right? And the best way I do that today is by helping people to write their book, publish their book, and sell their book. Of course, there's a lot in the middle of all of that we're doing right now, organizing book launches, organizing bestseller campaigns. So there's a lot that we'll do in the process. And that's how I enjoy most of my days. Of course, we're still doing marketing where we started off as a company 10 years ago, 11 years ago. And literally anything that will help you to get your solution out there to the world is what we're interested in. If you have that big idea, then let's talk. So even if your idea is not clear, let's clarify your idea and let's find a target audience for it, and then let's serve them. And you see the difference that makes to your life and to their lives as well. Mr. Eric, you've done yours already, so I'm the last one, right? I give the mic back to you.
Awesome. Appreciate that. All right. So real quick, we have about 4 questions I want us to talk about. So if we can just talk about it, maybe a minute or 2 for each one. We'll start with this one because this is the one that stops a lot of people. So here's the thing. Here's the first question. Coral says, how do you handle the people who do not believe in your vision? All right. A lot of times our ideas, people kill our ideas. They just kill it, right? Because they don't believe in it. So what's a good way to handle that? Real quick, we can start with Leah.
Well, you know what I say is off with their heads. Listen, you got to understand that people are not going to believe in your vision, and that is okay. It totally is okay. And here's the sad, hard reality. The majority of people that you know right now are not going to get you to where you want to be. Your friends and family are not going to buy your widget. They're not going to join your club. They're not going to wear your t-shirts, okay? And that's all right. Go find strangers. They're going to be much nicer and gentler to you and see your vision. And then you're going to find that one person. Because you know what? It is just 1 degree separation from where you are to where you want to be. One conversation. And what do you say, Mr. Zion, to this incredible question by Ms. Coral?
Well, thank you so much, Queen Leah. For me, if there's one thing I've learned and I'm still learning again, it's that not everybody is for you. Sometimes we expect so much from people. We think, oh, this person is going to be there for me. But at the end of the day, they will not be there for you. So accepting the fact that not everybody is there for you, for me, has really helped me so much in dealing with people like this. And secondly, focus on those who believe in your vision rather than those who does not believe it. So your energy should be more on who are the people that are believing in my vision. It can be 1 among 10 people. It can be 2 among 20 people. Focus on the 1, focus on the 2, rather than giving attention to the crowd who are not believing in your vision. Because at the end of the day, if you remain consistent in your vision, it will speak. So focus on those who believe in you and your vision. I know, Mr. Henny, we have something great to say about this. So, Mr. Henny, I'll give the mic to you so you can share with us your deep insights.
Yeah, I'll say another great question, of course. Look, no one's going to believe in anything you say until you do. That's one of our conversation today, right? People are not going to, they can't, people can't see what you're not doing. So anyway, when you talk about what you're going to do, people are polite. They'll nod their heads and say, yeah, okay, prove it. Show us. Yeah, and that's not a bad thing. That's just how the world works. Why would anyone cheer when you've done nothing? It's when you start doing something, start making a difference, that people will start cheering for you. But that could take a long time, and it's not going to. And many people are still going to try and talk your idea down. Who do you think you are? You can't do that. 1 million people. How are you ever going to do that? I'll say literally everyone's going to knock holes and pick holes in your idea. Stay true to your path. Focus on your mission, and do all that you need to do to make your idea a reality. You'd be surprised. There's some people who are not cheering for you today, Coral. when you start being successful, when you start making a difference, they will be on your side saying, "Tell me how you did it. Show me."
Yeah.
So that's how the world goes.
Yeah, absolutely. I agree 100%. So, by the way, before I wrote my book, nobody in my family had ever written a book. I didn't even have any friends. Well, I had a few friends, but they're not the ones that were going to train me, right? Nobody in my family ever created a course before I created a course. None of my friends created a course, right? Nobody created the kind of company I did, right? And nobody in my family, none of my friends have ever spoken on my stage, right? So like Leah said, you can't focus on people you know anyway. You can't focus on people, right? Because they knew me since I was a kid. When people know you since you were a kid, they don't actually believe that you can do that because they already know you. Like, what makes you think you can do that, right? So stay clear of people that actually that you grew up with. Right? Find new people to talk to. All right, that's very important. That's very important. By the way, when I started my my company, studiospeaking.com, I spoke with a few people. I know of one lady in particular. Obviously, I won't mention her name. And I told her about it, and she said, "Do you have a website?" I said, "No, not yet." She said, "How many people have spoken on your stage?" I said, "Nobody yet." She said, "Yeah, well, call me, after you have, some people on your stage." Guess what? She called me when she saw my website and she saw I had 30 testimonials on my website. She said, "So how can I speak on your stage?" I never called her. I think I wasn't gonna call her back. But but she saw that I did it, and then she wanted to do it. So, like Annie said, you got to go out and do it. Yeah, you got to do it. Go out and do it. All right. Next question. From Cole says, from your perspective, what is one reason some people never turn their ideas into income? Okay, so let's go. Let's do a minute each on this question. From your perspective, what is one reason some people never turn their ideas into income?
Yeah, this is a great question. And by the way, the people who know you, once you do it, you know what they're going to say? I always knew you could do it, Coral. I was always rooting for you. They're gonna want to be part of your story once you do it. I would say, from my perspective, one of the reasons people never turn their ideas into income is they're not courageous enough. You got to be courageous to be an entrepreneur. You're going to get pushback. People aren't going to believe in you. Things are going to go wrong. And you got to just be courageous. I believe the most courageous person is going to win. What do you say, Zion? This is a great question by Miss Coral from across the pond.
Yes, thank you so much, Kunlia. For me, one of the things that have stopped many persons from turning their ideas into income is excuses. People have taken the excuse to become normal in their life. And excuses are stopping a lot of people from becoming millionaires and billionaires in their own rights. So excuses of, the idea is not a finished product yet. Oh, everything is not well packaged yet. Oh, I don't think I'm ready to do this yet. Oh, I have to get XYZ. That's now. So stop giving excuses. And when you stop giving excuses, I tell you, your ideas will turn into income. I know Mr. Eni has something to say about this. Mr. Eni, I give the mic to you.
The thing I would say is many people don't make it easy for the people that they want to serve to use their service. People don't get what you do, Coral. This is a problem. If some people don't understand who you help, how you help, and what they're going to get out of you working with them, they will naturally prevaricate, pontificate, procrastinate. They'll stall, basically, right? Now, make it easy for everyone to understand. Now, what do you do? And who do you do it for? And what's the results they're going to get? And in what time scale? Simple as that. Make the offer as clear as can be. The more clarity you have in your offers, the more people will respond. Mr. Eric, now you're the sales genius amongst us, and you do this every day. So please help us to understand it a bit better, my friend.
Yes. Thank you so much. I was so quick to click on the next question. I clicked out of her first question, but anyway, my answer to that question though is basically what Zion said: excuses. People make excuses. They just like, look, oh my goodness, I hear excuses every day. The number one excuse people make is, "I'm not ready. I'm not ready." I hear that every single day. I'm not ready to speak on the stage. I'm not ready to write the book. I'm not ready to create the course. I'm not. You're not supposed to be ready. You're like, you do it before you're ready. Do it before you're ready. I wasn't ready to write a book. Like, who's ready? Like, nobody's really ready, right? So if I was ready, I would have done it already, right? So that's the thing. Excuses. You just have to do it. Do it scared. Just do it. Okay. Great question. All right. Next question from Natasha. Any ideas for reaching business owners / decision makers with budgets in businesses of 20 employees? I'm not 100% sure what you mean by that, but let's go with ideas for reaching business owners and decision makers for sure. That I understand. All right, so give us some ideas, and you have some great marketing geniuses here. So let's get started. Let's start with Leah. Go ahead.
Yeah, I would say start with the basics. I see that, we only have so much time and you didn't have a lot to type, but I would say get really specific about what type of business owners, what type of business is it? How long have they been in the industry? How much income are they making? What are their hobbies? Like, you got to know every little detail, like you can describe it to a T. If I said, what kind of car do you want? And you said, I want a black Mercedes. Well, what if I gave you a broken down, busted up Mercedes, right? No, you got to be really specific. What kind of buttons do you want? You've got to know everything about that person, describe it, and find that perfect avatar. Find that one person who fits exactly that and study that person. And then you're going to know how to start to marketing to them. What do you say, Zon? This is a great question.
Yes, great point also from you, Queen Leah. And I want to focus on, with budget. It's more like these are business owners or decision makers. They have a budget and they have a specific numbers of employee. If there's one thing I've been able to learn over the years, it's that decision makers, business owner, they respond to evidence of how you can improve them, how you can improve their finances, how you can improve their productivity, how you can improve their team performance. So one way for you to reach out is show evidence of what you can do, because you already have a budget. How can you improve the budget? How can you improve the productivity? How can you improve their team performance? I tell you, when you can go with this evidence, practical evidence of what you can do to make them better, they are definitely going to respond to you. So that's my take on that. I know Mr. Henning, has his own way of, bringing his own thought and idea when it comes to conversations like this. So, Mr. Henning, I yield the mic to you.
I love how you pass the mic, Mrs. Z. I really do. All right. Oh, this is it's an interesting question. We all want to work with people who've got big budgets. Of course we do. Now, when I started my company in 2015, I wanted to do marketing for big companies. But let me tell you, my friend, Natasha, if I got a decent company, I would have blown up. I would have imploded. I couldn't help them. My point is this: rather than going for a certain size of business, why don't you serve businesses and work your way up? Build a reputation, build testimonials, as Eric just mentioned. Because then they will see that you serve people like them, and they will come to you. I'm always amazed by people who want to go big right from the beginning. That's not how it works. It can work for some people. Maybe that's you, Natasha, right? But for most people, we start small and work our way up. And then eventually, once we serve someone who's in the category of people that we want to serve, then we attract more of them because they see that we can help them. That's how I would do it. If you really want to work with just those in that in a big budget category, you have to get onto the Rolodex. They're not looking for people like you and me online. They have those people already. So how are you going to get in front of them? It means working offline, networking, building those relationships. Maybe some people even do cold calling. I'm saying there's many different ways to reach these people. Just be prepared that they will say no at best of times. And until they see what you can do, why would they say yes? Eric, again, you've done big time sales, my friend, to big companies. How do we get in there?
All right, awesome. Thank you so much. So I'm going to give you a tip right now that it will blow you away. So get your pen ready, get your iPad ready, whatever you need to take this down. All right. Go to Fiverr, Fiverr. Go to fiverr.com and then type in there what you're looking for. You're looking for a list of you say the specific industry, right? A list of a specific industry, and maybe you can say how many employees, whatever. Type it in there. You will get a list of people that will source a list for you of the companies you're looking for. All right. And then once you have those companies, they'll get you the names, the emails, the phone numbers. Then you have to have a way to reach out to them. So as Annie said, one way you can do is the cold call. If you can't do that, you can get people to do that as well, right? Or sending messages on email or whatever. But that is a fast way to get to them. LinkedIn is great. The only thing about LinkedIn is it will block you if you contact too many people at the same time, right? But that is a way to get a list. One of the things I believe strongly in is find someone that is an expert at what you want instead of trying to figure it out, right? There's already an expert out there that knows how to pull those lists. So instead of you going around trying to do it, find the expert, pay the expert, and you got it. All right. So that's my answer to you. All right. So let's keep moving. Carlene. By the way, Carlene is very consistent. I just want to give a shout out to Carlene. You know, next to Carl, she's one of our most consistent people getting on our calls, on our promote your business calls, on our calls in the morning. And, you know, she does a great job. I endorse everything she does. She does a great job. All right. Carlene says, how do you determine whether a new product or service is a natural extension of your business rather than just another opportunity? Great question, because a lot of us like to just jump at everything we see. This is a great question. So Leah, go ahead.
Yes, this is a brilliant question, Carlene. And what I would say is allow the market to guide you. Your clients will start asking for certain things, and they're going to tell you what they want from you. And, you know, run it by them. Listen, I have this idea. Does this resonate with you? Because I think so many people go wide too soon. It gets boring doing the same thing. They feel like they're just saying the same thing over and over and retreading an old tire. But you've got to continually go deep before you go wide. What do you say, Zion? This is a great question. I know you've got some golden nuggets here and some diamonds.
Okay, Zion, can you hear us? Okay. If not, then Annie, go ahead.
So I'm glad it's not all of us are frozen. Now, Carlene, it's a great question. You know, you're hitting the point that in business, we must constantly evolve and improve. Sometimes we want to find that thing that helps our customers more. You know, that's where growth comes from, right? You know, for me, I think, you know, what I do has to be in alignment with, you know, who we are as a company. That's a choice of words I've just used, right? You know, what does my company exist to do? Does this extension fit naturally under our umbrella? You know, we're here to give people visibility and help them sell more. So does this new idea help us achieve that? Does it help us do better what we do already? You know, so now these are some of the questions that you would ask yourself. You know, I think as Queen Leah said, you know, if your solution helps your customers more, then there's more chance that you might carry it on. You know, if it's just something that's an add-on to that you can do, as Eric said, if you got the skill for it earlier, then, you know, of course you can do that too. But try and find a way to really help your customers more. You know, try and do the things that your competitors wouldn't do. When you find those growth areas, then you really have something useful that this makes you stand out from others. Mr. Eric, you know, how do you introduce new products, my friend? You know, how do you make new products fit under your brand?
Yeah, so here's the deal. I always make sure that what you're doing is consistent with the other things you're doing, right? I see people that like, oh, I'm a mindset coach. I'm also an insurance agent. I do hair on the side, but really what I love to do is Amway. That's my number one gig. And I'm like, yeah, okay, you're a little bit confused. Yeah. And you won't make any money at all. Right. So here's the thing. You want to make sure that what you do aligns. By the way, Leslie Flowers, this is not a recording. Because I see her and said, this appears to be a recording. No, this is live. All our events are live. We've been doing this for over 2 years. Thank you so much. So let me just continue to show you that it is live. So for me, I have a stage. I introduce speakers, coaches, authors, right? I'm starting a group, right, to introduce entrepreneurs, speakers, coaches, authors, right? I was as a sales coach. I help entrepreneurs, speakers, coaches, authors, right? Everything I do aligns, right? So I'm not wasting time doing anything because everything promotes everything else, right? So, Annie, you got a kick out of what I said, didn't you? I see you laughing. You got a kick out of it. I did. Sometimes you got to address something that people put in the chat. So anyway, so that's what I'll do. Just make sure that whatever you do, it aligns. So the people that are interested in one thing may be interested in the other, or they may promote the other, right? That's the most important thing, because you don't want to have multiple so-called multiple streams, but really they're multiple droplets because they're not really, they're not working together, right? And then you have to change gears all the time. So that's a great question. All right. Let's see if we have another question in here. Actually, we got 2 minutes to go. We can't go for any question. All right, so appreciate all of that, man. This hour went fast. Right, we may have to do a part two. So appreciate everybody that jumping on. By the way, Fiverr is thanks for putting it up there, Carl. It's 2 R's. I just realized that myself. So it's fiverr.com. Fiverr. Thank you so much for putting it up there. All right. So appreciate everybody being on. Thank you for the speakers. You guys did a great job. Make sure you share this, folks. Take this video right here. This video, well, it's a recording now, right? It's a recording now. Take this recording and put it in LinkedIn. Just reshare, or Instagram, Facebook, wherever it is. Share this. You want other people to get this value, and tell more people about what we do and what we do. Like I said, we've been here for over 2 years. Every Monday morning, 7 a.m. Eastern time, it's a live event. And then if you go to my page or Carl's page, you will see that it's recorded, but it's always a live event. All right, appreciate you guys, and we will see you next time. It has been a plum-pleasing pleasure as well as a privilege to be here with you today. Make it a great day, everybody. Bye-bye.
Bye, everyone. Bye, everyone.